long before kings ruled empires, long before mankind carved cities into the earth. There are whispers of a race of beings who are not like us. They were taller, stronger, and far more intelligent. Giants who could bend stone, call upon forbidden knowledge, and shake entire civilizations with their presence. The ancient world called them Nephilim. Some claimed they were the children of angels. Others feared they were abominations never meant to exist. But what if I told you their story is not just myth? What if evidence of their existence has been scattered across our world, hidden in sacred texts, buried in ruins, and erased from history by those who feared the truth? Tonight, we uncover the ancient secret of the Nephilim, the giants who defied heaven and earth. The origins of the Nephilim. The mystery of the Nephilim begins in one of the most cryptic passages of the Bible, Genesis 6. It says, "The sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose." There were giants in the earth in those days, the mighty men of old, men of renown. This brief passage has sparked debate for centuries. Who were these sons of God? Some traditions claim they were simply the righteous line of Seth, but ancient Jewish writings tell a far stranger tale. They call them the Watchers, angels sent to observe humanity, but instead of remaining loyal to their mission, they fell into temptation. Drawn by the beauty of mortal women, they descended from the heavens, took wives for themselves, and from this union came a new race, the Nephilim. These children were unlike anything the world had ever seen. They were giants, colossal in stature, with some said to stand more than 20 feet tall. Their strength was legendary, their appetites monstrous, consuming food, animals, and in some accounts, even mankind itself. But their size was only part of the terror. What truly set them apart was their knowledge. The Watchers passed down forbidden secrets, sorcery, astrology, alchemy, the forging of weapons, and charms of enchantment. Humanity advanced with alarming speed, but that advancement came at a price: war, corruption, and chaos. The Nephilim used their power to dominate. Tribes worshipped them as gods, rulers bowed before their might, and their names were spoken in awe and in fear. They became the men of renown, remembered in legends, half-divine beings whose shadows stretched across the ancient world, and under their reign, mankind did not flourish. It trembled. The Great Flood, a purge of giants. The reign of the Nephilim grew darker with each passing generation until the earth itself was drowning in violence. The scriptures tell us that the world was filled with corruption, bloodshed, and sin, so much so that every thought of mankind had turned to wickedness. But what many overlook is that the flood was not only a punishment for human sin, it was a judgment upon the Nephilim themselves. These hybrids had no rightful place in creation. They were born of rebellion, the result of angels breaking the laws of heaven, and their presence threatened the very balance of the world. The flood was a divine reset. God's judgment came like a storm, cleansing humanity, but more importantly, erasing the Nephilim from the face of the earth. As the waters rose, the Watchers who had defied heaven were bound and cast into chains of darkness, imprisoned until the final judgment. Their hybrid children, the Nephilim, were swept away in the torrents of the Great Flood, their voices silenced beneath the waters. Or at least, that is how the story is told. Yet a mystery remains. If the Nephilim were destroyed, why do their shadows linger in the myths of nearly every culture on Earth? The Sumerians spoke of the Anunnaki, sky gods and rulers who descended from above. The Greeks told of the Titans, primordial giants who once ruled before being cast down by the Olympians. The Hopi people told chilling stories of red-haired giants who roamed the Americas, preying upon tribes until they were finally hunted and destroyed. Even after the flood, echoes of these beings resurface again and again, as if the giants had not been completely erased. Perhaps some survived in hidden corners of the world. Perhaps their bloodlines mingled with mankind, passed down through ancient families and royal houses. Or perhaps their spirits endured, waiting for another chance to rise. Whatever the case, one truth is clear. The Great Flood may have ended an age of giants, but it did not erase their memory, and perhaps not their presence. giants across ancient civilizations. Look around the world, and you will find monuments so massive, so mysterious, that even today modern engineers are baffled. The stone platform at Baalbek in Lebanon contains blocks weighing over 1,000 tons, so large no crane on Earth today could move them. The pyramids of Egypt, aligned perfectly with celestial bodies, seem far too advanced for their time. The megaliths of Stonehenge raise the same question: who had the knowledge and power to build such wonders? Legends claim these were the works of giants. In Mesopotamia, the Anunnaki were depicted as towering, powerful beings who taught mankind agriculture, astronomy, and kingship. In Greece, the Titans were remembered as primordial giants who shook the heavens. In South America, the Incas spoke of giants who helped shape the land before turning violent. And scattered across the world are alleged remains: massive bones, oversized skulls, and footprints larger than any man alive. Though many of these discoveries vanish mysteriously into private collections or are dismissed by mainstream science, the legends persist. Could these cultures, separated by oceans and time, all be remembering the same truth? Forbidden knowledge of the Watchers. The power of the Nephilim was not just physical, it was intellectual and spiritual. Their angelic fathers shared forbidden secrets that shaped the destiny of mankind. The Book of Enoch says they taught metallurgy, forging weapons of war and instruments of death. They revealed the secrets of the stars, unlocking astrology and sorcery. They whispered charms and enchantments, twisting the balance of nature. Even simple things, like cosmetics and jewelry, were taught as a way to corrupt mankind's innocence. For this reason, the Watchers were cursed, chained beneath the earth until the Day of Judgment. But the damage was already done. Humanity had tasted the fruit of forbidden knowledge. Some researchers believe that every secret society, every occult order, every hidden text, carries fragments of the Nephilim's legacy. From alchemy to mysticism, from Kabbalah to astrology, the fingerprints of the Watchers are everywhere. What if the world's greatest mysteries, the pyramids, lost cities, ancient prophecies, are not human achievements alone, but the inheritance of the Nephilim's teachings? The return of the Nephilim. And now we reach the question that chills the soul. Are the Nephilim truly gone? Some biblical scholars point to the words of Jesus, who said, "As it was in the days of Noah, so it shall be at the coming of the Son of Man." In other words, the chaos of Noah's time, the reign of giants, could return in the end times. The Book of Revelation speaks of hybrid creatures, of a final rebellion, and of great warriors rising again. Other prophecies hint at imprisoned spirits being released from the abyss, the spirits of the Nephilim themselves. And today, with science pushing boundaries of genetic engineering, cloning, and artificial intelligence, humanity is once again blurring the lines between man and machine, mortal and God. Are we repeating the sins of the Watchers? Are we creating our own Nephilim, beings who could rise to dominate us just as before? Some say the Nephilim never left, that their blood flows silently through certain bloodlines hidden in plain sight. Others whisper that their spirits still wander, seeking bodies to inhabit, waiting for the day they rise again. The legacy and mystery of the Nephilim. The story of the Nephilim is not simply a tale of giants, it is the story of mankind itself. It is about the line we dare not cross, and what happens when heaven and earth mix in ways never intended. The Nephilim remind us of the price of forbidden knowledge. They remind us that power, no matter how divine, comes with a shadow. Their rise brought war, corruption, and bloodshed. Their fall brought judgment and flood, yet their memory endures, carved into stone, hidden in scripture, and whispered in secret traditions. Perhaps the reason their story was erased was not to protect the past, but to protect the future. Because if humanity forgets, we may walk the same path again, and in many ways, we already are. With every leap in genetics, artificial intelligence, and manipulation of life itself, we inch closer to repeating the rebellion of the Watchers. The question is not simply whether the Nephilim once walked among us. The question is, what if their time is not finished? Could their blood still flow through ancient bloodlines of kings and rulers? Could their spirits still haunt this world, waiting for the right moment to rise. And if prophecy is correct, if the days of Noah shall return, then the shadow of the Nephilim may be far closer than we think. So when you hear the legends of giants, when you look upon the ruins of megalithic stones, when you see the symbols of forbidden knowledge passed down through secret societies, ask yourself, are these just stories, or are they warnings? Because history has shown us one truth that cannot be erased: shadows always return.